Good morning and welcome to Coffee Chat with David and Kylie Knight.
Hey everyone, so good to see you here today. Today is Friday, October the 16th, 2020.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Crazy.
I know.
October's halfway over.
Yeah.
And the year is just flying by.
In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. We were just talking about this yesterday.
True.
And I feel like that it kind of is, but in some ways, because the virus, everything slowed down. There was months that just really slow.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's gone as fast as normal. I mean, yes, it's the same speed.
It's technically the same.
I'm sure David Hyra would be picking on me right now for saying that or something.
Good morning, David
morning.
Hyra. And good morning, Jen Hester. Good to see you.
Yay, good morning.
Welcome, welcome. Yeah, be sure to use the hashtags.
Hello, Knights.
Hello, Knights.
Yes.
Yep. Because that's always a good thing to do. And then be sure to like and share, because sharing is caring.
Look at you, ours, like dressed up today.
Well, we have a very special guest on today, so I had to.
I know, dressed to impress.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. You and your special pocket square and everything.
Spiffy. That's what I'm
you
going
are
for.
Spiffy. I
well,
like
but
it.
I'm nothing like he is. He's phenomenal.
Yeah,
Like,
I
wait
can't
till
wait
you guys
to talk to
meet him. You're gonna love him.
Great. Good stuff. I'm very excited. So stay tuned for Fashion Talk and also
Fashion Talk. That's right. Welcome to Fashion Talk with David and Kylie and Josh.
That's right.
Speaking of Josh, a different
David
Josh.
and Kylie and Josh.
Joshua St. John says COVID time is slow and fast at the same time.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's like a magic trick. Oh, actually, I saw the coolest thing yesterday called Ooblix. I think is what it was called.
Ooblix.
I hope I get that right.
Bless you.
It's thank you. Yeah, it's this. I don't even know how to explain it. It's this substance that when it's just sitting there, it's kind of a liquid, and then if you try to move it, it becomes solid. And so, like, the faster you move it, the more solid it becomes.
Okay.
And then the slower you move it, the more like viscous it becomes.
Okay.
It's the coolest thing in the world, and I saw this guy. It was
what in the crazy science?
They did this thing where they put a red compound of it and a blue compound of it into this mason jar and put it in a paint shaker to see if the paint shaker could actually mix.
Yeah, and
these
make
two.
it purple.
Yeah.
Did it?
Well, surprisingly, yeah.
It did.
Yeah, the guy who did it though thought that because it was moving so fast. No, it did. They did it fast. But
how?
I don't know. He thinks somehow something about and I'm going to get the science totally wrong. Just letting you know.
We're not science people.
We're not scientists. I'm not a doctor.
Not a doctor.
I don't even play one on TV. But he thinks something about the way the particles interact that they slide just enough to mix.
Really?
Yeah, because he thought they were just going to kind of like solidify and stay separate, but they started mixing. Yeah, the only reason that's interesting to me is because this whole idea of fast and slow at the same time, like this, it's weird.
And what's it called?
I think it's Ooblix. Ooblex. Look it up. I could be wrong. So maybe do a Google search before Google.
Well, that sounds fascinating.
Yeah. Meanwhile, David Hyra has Christmas decorations up in Costa Rica.
What?
They're really moving through the year fast.
And in people's homes, not just in the stores. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You guys are moving right ahead. Well, I love it. I said that I feel like Christmas stuff should go up earlier this year. Here's my reasoning why. Okay. I think this is a very solid case because it's been a tough year for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Christmas decorations and the whole Christmas season and what it represents makes everybody happier and more cheerful, right? And so if we bring that in sooner, it'll make everybody happier for longer.
I like it.
You think it's solid?
I think it's a solid idea.
Yeah.
I'm down with it.
Here's for voting for Christmas early. Extending Christmas.
And some people have already done it because Joshua St. John still has his Christmas tree up from last year.
Wow.
Which is extreme. I'm just going to tell you.
Well, that's one way to survive this year. I tell you what.
Yeah.
I didn't put mine up at all last year, actually. It's the first time I've ever done that.
That's true.
Because we were gone for most of December.
That's true. We're in Australia.
Yes.
Family. Yeah.
Well, I think we had shows and then we were in Australia.
Oh, that's
So
right, because
we're-
we had that trip like through Branson
Yeah,
and
something or other. Yeah, right at the beginning of
Illinois, or
the.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that was fun when we did the prison outreach.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow, what good memories.
Remember those
I
days
do-
where we traveled?
We traveled. Yeah, well, we're getting to do that again.
I know, actually,
So,
we are.
A little nervous about that, but
It's been so
anyways.
long.
David Ira says there's no Halloween or Thanksgiving here. Nothing to slow the process into Christmas.
Oh.
They just go
They don't do Halloween. I mean, I understand the whole
Thanksgiving. Right.
but no Halloween.
Well,
either.
I would imagine that if you live in Costa Rica, you're thankful pretty much all the time. Because
Well,
that's a
there is
beautiful,
that.
beautiful place.
You just look out and it's just like, I am so thankful to be here.
Exactly.
Yes, I would be thankful being there too, actually.
Although I did see a meme the other day that it was this will be our nightmare this year. I showed it to you, and it's this guy looking at the time on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Right? So
Like,
it's
Happy New
12/31,
Year!
2020 at 11:59, and then it's and then it goes to 1 o'clock, but it's 13/1/2020. So just 2020 continues on.
Another
That's
year of
scary.
2020.
Yeah, we don't need that.
No, don't say it.
Well, we have been busy here in the studio.
In Night Studio?
In Night Studio, yes.
You can
our
call it
secret
that.
warehouse. We've been working hard this week. Some of you saw the photo we posted for a project we've been working on for a client out in California.
Yes.
And it was David Ira says, "Come on down. We've got a place for you to stay."
Oh, perfect.
All right, catching
I
a plane.
wish.
Yeah, we
But
can't
I
even do
think
that.
we'd have to go into quarantine for a couple of weeks, wouldn't I?
Quarantine in Costa Rica?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. At his place, you're kind of away from
Oh, my
everything, so
goodness,
it's like
right?
quarantining over there. So if I have to stay for longer than 2 weeks, just to,
You'll do what you got to do, right?
You know.
It's for other people, right? And protecting them.
yes,
Exactly.
I was going to say suffer for Jesus,
So,
but,
well, that too. Yeah.
you know.
No, we worked on this project this week for a
Yes.
client in California, and Kylie did a card trick.
I did.
It was pretty sweet. You could
Mhm.
actually do that here.
I could.
We might see if you can do that at some point. It might be kind of fun.
I'm like, don't tell me right now. I'm not.
No, I'm not
put
going to
me
make
on
you
the
do it right now.
spot.
No,
Good.
I know. I know better than that. You know how I feel about that. So, and
That was like me yesterday when you said something, and I said, well, no, I wouldn't do that because I love our marriage too much and I want to keep it that way.
that's right.
Something like that.
Oh,
But
I know.
anyway.
It was about going somewhere other than Mexican food.
Oh, that's right. I said, you sure you want to do that? I'm like, well, I'm not going to say not going to Mexican because I love our marriage
Right.
and I want to keep it.
And we're going to bring on our guest here in just a second.
Yes.
But I do want you guys, especially those of you who have watched many times, which we always appreciate,
Yeah.
let us know how our audio quality is today. This is
yeah.
truly, Amazon Prime had their Prime Day deals.
Anyone heard
this
of
week.
that?
Little company.
Little thing
I think
going
they're
on.
in Washington. But anyways, they had Prime deals, and so they had this microphone that
Mhm.
looked good, and it was really inexpensive. And so we
It's a great deal.
bought it, and
hopefully it was just not one of those too good to be true and
right.
it's really not that good.
Yeah.
So let us know how it sounds.
Yeah, hopefully
Check,
you
check,
like the sound.
1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2.
And if you can't tell any difference, let us know that too.
Right.
Michael Laws
Oh,
says, sounds good to
good.
me. All right. Speaking of which, I need to talk to you, Michael.
Yes.
Drop me a personal message. I've got something I want to ask you.
All right. Well, should we get to our amazing guest?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because he is amazing.
I feel.
I know. We got to primp ourselves. So we we met this gentleman. Boy, was it earlier? It must have been earlier this year, right? Or maybe late last year. But anyways,
I think he's nodding his head to
yeah,
earlier this
earlier
year.
this year. Okay.
Okay.
And he's a super nice guy. We've had
Yes.
great conversations with him, and
And he's a regular who's watching us
he
too,
is.
which is always fun.
That's right. And you will see why in a moment. We had to up our style a little bit for him. So will you guys? Oh goodness! Will you guys please welcome our friend and now yours, Mr. Josh Koehler?
Woo!
Hey, good
What
morning.
is up?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good.
David and Kylie. Great to see you.
Great to
great to
see
see
you.
you.
Actually, see you.
Thank
Right?
you.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
always
Absolutely.
see your
absolutely.
name, but
yes.
Yeah. Gosh, you are
Yeah,
looking
there we
good
go.
there, my friend.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Woo.
I appreciate that.
That little pocket
I
square
know
going on.
he's got it just
Just-
just
yeah.
right. I still haven't
Yeah,
quite
I had to
hang
up
that.
the game just a little bit for you guys and your crowd today. So.
We'll explain more in a
That's right.
moment
We'll
for
get to that.
everybody watching.
Well, hey, so Josh is a children's pastor out of Illinois, and super great guy. And we're going to ask him some questions, and I think you guys are going to really like it. So, Kylie, you want to take it away?
Yeah, so let's get started with first question. Let's start with the easy one, with your testimony. How did you come to know Jesus?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in the home that I was raised, I had dad and mom who were just phenomenal. Not were, but they are phenomenal believers. And so, growing up, that's the influence that I had. They were not on staff at any church, but they loved the church just really as much as probably any pastor would. I mean, we were just always there. And so growing up, that was the influence that we had. We were at church. Not only were we at church, but we were serving in some capacity at the church that we attended. So that had just a huge influence on my life. I do have an older brother and sister, and also a younger brother as well. And it was really the influence of my older brother and sister on my life that had a huge impact in me coming to know Jesus. A couple of weeks ago, you had Bob Smiley on, and he used the word when he was talking about his conversion, about respect. And that really captured it for me with my older brother and sister. With I just had a ton of respect for them and what the life they were living, and so because of that, and being brought up in church and hearing about Jesus all the time, because we were always there. I gave my life to Jesus at the age of 6. And I remember, well, I was with my dad, and it was just, I don't have any idea what the circumstances around it were, but I knew that that's the decision I needed to make. So I did.
love that. Wow,
So good.
that's a great story.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love the fact that it ties into your family, and like that,
Right.
that you saw the way they were living, and you like that had an
Yeah.
impact on you. And I think it's so
Sure did.
important for all Christians to understand that whether you realize it or not, people are watching you,
Absolutely.
and you're going to have that impact
Yes.
on people. What direction do you want them to be heading? So,
Yeah, no
I
doubt
love
about
that.
it.
Wow.
man, well, thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that with us. We appreciate
Yes.
it. Now, you have found your way to being a children's pastor. God bless you.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
How did you know you were called to that, and what is it that you absolutely love about doing that?
Yeah. So it really was through some circumstances in my life that really I could sense God calling me. And first, it was really into full-time ministry. And it really happened. And now I can look back on things and say, I can point my finger and say, oh yeah, that was a big calling that God was using and placing on my life at the time. So it's neat to look back. At the time, I had no idea. But growing up in the church, especially as I got into my junior high years, and the pastor there and the leadership there just gave the junior high and high school students just great opportunities to use their gifts and talents to serve in the church there. And so I had a number of opportunities to do that. And I can point back to that's kind of where it started. Me just using my gifts in little ways to do that. One of those ways was, and I can't remember exactly, it might have been in junior, maybe freshman year, back when Sunday night church was a thing. I was given the opportunity to be the lead usher right?
Oh.
Ooh, right,
Ooh.
for the Sunday night service, right?
Nice.
So anything we needed to pass out, or I'd lead that, or believe it or not, I was in charge of finding people to take the offering. They trusted
Oh, wow.
that. Yeah. But anyway, that's what I did. And so you know what, I look back on that and say, that might have been the start of
Hmm.
that, because I enjoyed it. I loved it, and it was a lot of fun. And then later on in high school as well, the youth group that I was involved in had opportunities through the curriculum that they used and the programs they used to use those talents and those gifts in different ways. And one of those ways was preaching. And so I began to do that right in junior high, actually. And again, going back to that influence and respect of my older brother, he kind of did the same thing. And so and I really respected him and looked up to him, and it was a huge deal. And so one of the things was, well, if he's doing it, I probably should be too. Um, but as I got to do it and start writing some sermons and actually preaching them, God, I can look back on it now and say, God again began to do some work there. I believe in my life that kind of directed me to, I kind of like this, and the pushing to, I'm gonna stay at this because I'm really enjoying it, and from what I'm hearing from others,
Right.
it was pretty good. Now that all might have been a lie, but that helped in continuing to do that. And so by the time I graduated from high school, I knew it was full-time Christian ministry. And so I pursued that in college. And again, my first year in Bible college, the summer program that the school had, they run a camp for kids. And so through that camp, I worked with elementary students for, I believe, 10 weeks. And again, it was God's direction, clearly. And it was through that I knew, yeah, this is definitely the road that I want to take. So the next 3 years, I pursued that as a pastoral major. And when I graduated from college, the opportunity arose for children's ministry, and so I jumped right on that. And so that's kind of how God used different people in different situations to really shape where I am today. And in college, I had the last 3 years, we were in a school there, and the church that we attended, the youth pastor and the pastor just gave my wife and I, which we were at school together, just great opportunities to serve in the youth group there. And again, I look back on that opportunity and those two guys who had a huge influence and still do to this day, that really God used again to shape and direct me. So that's kind of how it all came about.
I love it. I love it. Well,
Good.
apparently Eric thinks that you're a dynamic teacher and never boring. So
So is Eric your older brother?
Yes, he's my older brother.
Ah. Well, he's watching and listening, so you better be nice.
And I didn't say all the nice things about him because I knew he was watching. So that's
well, that's
I
good.
guess it's a plus.
That's good.
Yeah. Right.
Well, and I love this, one of the things I'm really digging about, like being able to hear people's stories, is again kind of hearing about how early on your youth group, the kids, it was so often we think of, the kids or the youth are the future of the church, and I love when I hear pastors talking about how they're not the future, they are the church, and
Yeah.
Sure.
get them involved, and exactly things like
Right.
that happen.
Yeah, giving them the
Right.
opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to
Right.
try it out.
And I even remember, might have been the past note that you sent out through email that you said that kind of similar things, that the pastor at your church really gave you great opportunities to serve, and that kind of helped you out a great deal as well. I thought that was really cool.
Well, and that was the other thing I was going to point out is the influence, once again, going back to influence and the support of people who can kind of help guide you and who see things in you that you don't necessarily see.
So true.
Right.
That's the amazing thing to me. So
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
So good, man. So good.
Very cool.
All right, so we talked right at the beginning, how nicely you're dressed. So you've also have a blog called The Styling Pastor, which helps those who have gone down the wrong path, shall we say, and fallen into fashion sin.
I love that.
I love that you put it that way. What sparked this idea, and what is the most the bad fashion sin that you see among children's pastors these days?
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. I enjoy the fashion world, and when you think of pastor and the fashion world, it really doesn't mix.
No.
It really doesn't. So it's kind of I guess maybe odd in a way, but the way it started was I always like to dress nice, look good, and dress up when I can. And again, that started as far back as I can think of junior high.
Wow.
And there was the true story. There was a lady in our church that would once a year buy me a suit.
Oh my!
Really?
Oh my!
Yes, and that started in juniure high.
Wow!
And again, I look back on that and say, oh, that's where this probably started. And so it's just phenomenal. And so how it all really started was a few years ago, I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to start posting, on my social media sites, things I'm really passionate about. And one of those is fashion. So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to take pictures and styles that I like during the week, and I'm just going to put them together as a collage. And once a week, I'm going to post, hey, here's stuff I've seen that I really like. Okay. So then that slowly turned into, oh, well, now I'm going to get more specific. Now it's going to be the blazer week. Here's the blazers of the week I liked, or the ties. And so I would do that. But then that turned into what was called Fashion Fridays, where on Fashion Fridays, every Friday, I would post on my social media sites just the fashions that I really like, some things that are trending, things like that. And lo and behold, there were a couple of individuals that contacted me and said, hey, I'm going to be wearing this type of suit. Can you give me some ideas on what would this go with, or should I actually wear this now? So I responded to that, and it was probably much more than what they were thinking.
It usually is.
but that triggered in me, hey, you know what? I really enjoy writing about this. So why not? Let's start something where I could do that. And so back when I started that, blogs were the big deal. And so I started my fashion blog, Styling Pastor. Now the name is really great because I thought, well, I don't want to be normal like a fashion blog, know, that's too typical. So let's be creative with this. How can I make this attractive and different? So I thought, okay, so what are my passions? Well, I'm a pastor. Okay, what can we do with that? And then I was like, but I like style, and so let's put that together. And out of that came styling pastor.
Gotcha.
And so that's where that all came from and started, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing that. One of the things that I see, and I don't know if you've seen the commercial, it's actually a Downy commercial. And it's of this couple, and they're on a date, and they come into the restaurant and they sit down, and they're looking at each other and all that. And the guy looks at the girl and says, "You look amazing." Amazing. So she looks at him, and well, it's not quite amazing. She says, "You look amazingly comfortable." and so what the guy was wearing, it was just a bad t-shirt, maybe something you would wear to bed, maybe, I don't know, but it was stretched out, it was wrinkly as all get out, and he truly did look amazingly comfortable. But to a date, I'm not sure that's probably something you would wear. I encourage all children's pastors, everyone everywhere, look amazing, not amazingly comfortable.
That's a great tip.
I love
there
that.
you go.
That's very good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
You heard it here, folks.
That's right. That's right.
Well, and I love the. I mean, I'm not a huge fashion person. I like fashion. I wish I were more in tune with kind of appropriate, like not appropriate, but proper fashion choices.
Right.
But I do love good fashion, and I love the idea of bringing back, just a sense of, our style, our clothes reflect a respect for ourselves and for others.
Sure.
I think that's a beautiful thing. So
It is.
Yes,
I mean, there's a time for comfort,
absolutely.
and
Well, go ahead.
Right.
but there's also plenty of time to look amazing.
Right.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
and I've even seen like I think it's amazing when you see somebody who looks comfortable but looks amazing as well.
Yes, you can have
And
both.
some of that can just be in how to fit the clothes, right? And
The fit.
Right.
Yep.
The fit.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot to preach there, but yes, you're right on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think you can make some disciples.
There we go.
Brian Fields says that you're the best children's pastor he's ever been around. Go Sox.
Oh, Brian. Yes.
Yeah.
Love Brian. Excellent volunteer.
What?
Oh,
good.
good. Thanks, Brian, for volunteering.
Yes.
You get
We
this
made,
thing.
yeah. We're gonna give you the little. There you
Yay, that's for you,
Yeah.
Brian.
Nice. Love Brian.
Well, and that's a perfect segue into our final question for this section, which is about the Sox.
Yes.
You're a big, passionate White Sox fan. Have they always been your team, and what is it that you find so attractive about them?
And is that what is behind you there?
Oh, yeah, and talk about the photo.
Right.
I
So
keep
first,
looking
the
behind your
photo.
shoulder.
Yes, absolutely. The photo is of them in 2005 when they won the World Series. And so that is the celebration. Last pitch, last out, and here they come, and they're really excited. And so that was in 2005. They haven't done much since then, up until this season, actually. But
the fans remain.
That's the picture. Yeah. So I've always been a Sox fan. I just my number one sport is baseball. I love it, and it's always been that way. And so I just don't cheer on the White Sox and like the White Sox, but I just like baseball in general.
Okay.
And the White Sox are definitely the number one team. And so growing up, that's what I did. Although growing up, my dad was, my dad is a Cubs fan, and my younger brother is a Cubs fan.
Oh.
And so, but my older brother is a Sox fan. And going back to that whole respect and influence, that was just a team I had to, cheer on.
Be like your big brother.
The White Sox, absolutely. And so that's what I did. And so watching them through just all the bad, but not giving up. And then 2005, they win the World Series. It's amazing. And then the downslide again to bad, and is a little rough. But I no bandwagon fan here,
Right.
and I it just stuck with them. And then this year. And what they're calling a rebuild and all of that. They made the playoffs for the first time since 2012. And so it was very exciting. So to come through the lows and then the highs and then the lows again, and then to stick with them to hopefully the highs again,
Right.
For a while is tremendous. It's fun.
I love it. Well,
Yeah.
Eric says that you and he are the wise family members. So
Yes.
go Sox.
Right.
That's funny.
Well, we can certainly appreciate the highs and lows of being a fan of a particular team
Yes.
Yeah.
with our Cowboys.
For us, it's been even longer. It's been,
Yeah.
what, 2000 since they had a good year?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Has it been 20? It's been like
it's been a
20
long
years.
time.
It's been a little while. Yeah.
That's right.
That's all right. Yeah.
And now we just lost our QB.
Right.
Yeah. Sad news.
Yeah.
Oh, that was ugly. That was
Big
bad.
time. Yeah.
Well-
Painful.
Yeah, very.
Yes.
In more ways than one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so you have, and Michael Law says it's kind of like rooting for the Rangers. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Similar.
So these have been some good answers to some good questions. We're going to shift things and go with a little more fun with our lightning round called 5 Questions.
All right. Question number 1. What are you binge watching right now?
Yeah, so that is a great question, and on Amazon Prime is a series called Poldark.
Oh.
And it is, I actually just started it and gotten into it, and it is really, really good. So it takes place on 1783, and the Americans are returning from the war, and so this family, they're the Poldarks,
Okay.
very. You could say wealthy and a lot of influence, and so there's this one son, and that's takes a different road than the family, and so it's been really good so far.
Yeah.
So I on Amazon Prime, so I
Amazon
recommend
Prime.
Poldark.
Amazon Prime. All right.
Yeah.
Speaking
Might
of
have
Prime.
to check that one out.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you could have any other job than the one you have right now, what would it be?
Yeah. So I love what I do, but I actually have three that I'll mention.
Oh, wow.
I like it.
Yeah. Right. So the first one has to be something in sports. It'd just be it's very, very a passion of mine.
Yeah.
So that's pretty easy as well. Another one probably would be, and again, it doesn't go with what I do at all, but the styling world.
Yeah.
You know, that I enjoy that, but yeah. So one of them that I've always really liked and is being and this goes back to the sports probably, but sports broadcaster. Or maybe radio DJ, something along those lines. Growing up in our backyard, we had a big backyard, and so every day after school, we'd get together with friends and play baseball. And during the game, of course, while we're playing, I would actually announce what's happening. so really from that time on, I thought, you know what, that seems
So you got
very,
experience.
something interesting for me. So there's some of the things there's another one that I really enjoy, planning events. And so something like an event planner sounds just fun, going from party to party and just planning and creativity, and I really enjoy that. That's a big thing I do here at our church,
Right.
as well. And so for me there's just no such thing as a little event. It's all
That
it's
sounds
all
about
big
right for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So if I love what I do, but if I had, a chance, then those might be
Yeah.
some things I would choose.
Good answers. I like it. I
That's
like
great.
it.
Yeah.
All right. So, what is your favorite to go order?
Oh man, yeah. It will always involve a cheeseburger. Always. So whatever it is, but I would have to say Portillo's. So Portillo's is a great place around where we live.
Yep.
With great burgers. Of course, French fries. You got to have the
Oh,
cheese
yeah.
sauce with it,
Yes.
and of course you've got to get their chocolate shake.
Oh,
Which
I
is,
haven't heard that.
Which is amazing.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's probably on my top 5 list of shakes.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Oh my.
it's really good. But I would have to say Portillo's, and actually I had it last night.
Did you really?
There you go.
Yeah, I did.
Perfect. Very
Now that's
good.
getting extra prepared for the show. I tell you
yes,
what.
yes, I had to prep for it. so,
Exactly.
yeah.
Things you got to do.
I love it.
Well, we need to come and try all that.
We do.
You said
Yes.
we've been there before?
Yeah, we've been there. Although I think we hit. It's been a while, but yeah, I think we went to one.
Right.
Anyways,
Yep.
Time to go back.
it's time to go back.
Yes.
And we didn't go with the right person.
Oh,
So
yeah. That does make a difference.
Oh, true. True. Know what to get. Yes. Okay.
Okay. So what are you reading right now?
All right, so the book that I am reading right now is by a guy by the name of Brad Montag, and I don't know if he's a believer or not, but he wrote this book called "Becoming Better Grown-Ups."
Ooh.
And so what I try and do with ministry is try and read things that are going to keep me, just relevant and up to date and all of
Good.
that. So one of these books that I heard was from Brad here, and he also is the creator of Kid President. If you've
That's
seen
right.
those YouTube,
Oh,
Yes.
got it.
that's him. So he wrote this book. So the whole idea behind it is everybody wants to grow up to be a grown up, right? And they want to do it fast. And being a grown up is just the thing to do, and we got to get to it fast. But in the book, it talks about when we become an adult, we kind of lose that kid creativity and fun and the wonder and the imagination of a child.
Mhm.
Yep.
And so what he did was he went around all of these schools when he could,
Right.
and he went into classrooms of elementary students and just spent the day with them and talked with them and interviewed them, and out of that came this book. And it's really good that, hey, when you become an adult, don't lose that sense of
Right.
wonder and amazement and fun, and to keep that, because we want to stay like that, like a child.
Absolutely. Oh, that's so good. That's so
Yeah,
It's very true. I like that a lot.
yeah.
All right, final question. They decide to
Yes.
make a movie of your life. Who plays you?
Oh, yeah. There's got to be 2 people.
Okay.
And one for my I guess not 2 personalities, because I think I only have one, but
I think I have one.
who I am, right? Who I am. So I think for my style, it would have to be Pierce Brosnan.
Oh,
Right.
Ooh.
I think he would play me well in that regard. I'd have to say. Then for my fun, I think for my fun personality, and who would depict that well, I think it would have to be Johnny Depp. And a movie I have in particular is Pirates of the Caribbean. Just the goofiness. Now, minus all the drinking and all the other stuff. let's cancel that out, right? Just so people don't jump to conclusions.
Right, exactly.
But just his goofy, fun personality, I think would play me play me
Nice.
I
well.
like it. I
Yeah,
like that.
right.
It's good combination.
It
It's good
is.
combination.
Yes,
Oh man.
Cool.
Well,
absolutely.
Man, this was such a joy. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming on today.
I appreciate it.
We always love seeing you in
Yeah.
the
Yep.
comments, and now we love seeing you on the screen.
Yay!
So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
hopefully
well, I,
soon we'll see you in person.
Yes.
Absolutely. We're waiting for that day. But I appreciate you having me on. I'm really honored. I know this takes a lot of work and to put together. So thanks for taking time.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, you take care, my friend, and we will talk soon.
Sounds good.
Thank
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Well, I told you guys would love him. He's such a good guy.
Isn't that great?
Oh, so much fun.
Yes.
Next week, we will have Jeremy Reeves from the band Reeves.
Not the two of them.
Not the two of them, just the one of them.
Yes.
Yeah. But I looked all over the internet and I could not find a photo of him by himself.
Right.
So
It's
unless it
always
was
with
like
people.
yeah, unless he had like a big microphone in front of him and you couldn't
Yeah,
tell who he was.
that's true.
So I'm like, that's
Yeah.
a good looking photo.
It is.
He's a good looking
It
guy.
is.
So it's the guy in the front, in case you're all curious.
Yeah, him and his brother have a band, and they're
They do.
very, very talented.
They are.
So we're going to look forward to talking with him next Friday.
Exactly. It's going to be a blast.
Yes.
So any other final thoughts before we sign off today?
Well, Joshua St. John said, do right by Dak and give him a contract.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I agree, but I think that's going to be so tricky with that.
Part of it depends on how his recovery goes, I think.
Yeah.
And
boy,
only time will tell on that, and
Yeah.
it might take a little while. Oh, that was
that was
rough.
ugly. If you watch that on live, woo.
I still remember when it happened, and you saw his foot, and you're like, "Oh, I think his shoe just came off a little bit because it was all twisted." And I'm like,
That was hopeful.
I don't know.
That was
Yeah.
hopeful. Well, it looked like
Sadly.
you know, like when your heel slides out of your shoe,
right?
and that's kind of what it looked like. But no, it was not. It was ugly and bad.
Well,
But oh well.
it's a rough year.
Prayers for him. It is a rough year. There's a lot of injuries.
There is.
on all around the league. So
It's true.
it's crazy.
It's true.
Well, anyways.
Yep.
So anything exciting this weekend going on for us? Nope. Just preparing for
Nothing
next
different.
week. Yeah.
Church Sunday.
Church
and
Sunday. Yeah.
Another week.
Another week. Another week. But we're getting excited. We've got some shows coming up, which is exciting. So
Yes.
but we'll talk about that later. Okay. Cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we will see you next week.
Have a
on
great week,
Coffee Chat.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.